I've got a text document. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it in 2015, script 1. I'm going to save it as session1.html. So I've saved it as an HTML document. I'm going to first put in the syntax for the HTML. I'm just going to create a basic HTML structure. So here we go. HTML. Oh, sorry, doc type. Doc type HTML. I say that my HTML will start here, it will end here. Within the HTML, I have things like a title. Sorry, the title goes inside a head. So I'm just going to put a head tag around it. So I have a head and a body. Head. Hopefully, as I put this, it starts making sense. So I have HTML start, HTML end. I have head start, I have head end. I have title start, title end. And I also have a body start and a body end. I'll just end the body somewhere here. All cool? So that's the basic structure of my web page. I'll save it. Inside my title, I'll just put JavaScript 1. Now, this JavaScript tags, JavaScript is written inside script tags. I'll continue with this and I'll give you time to type it up. So even if you're typing, just lend me your ears. The JavaScript script tag can go inside the head or inside the body. Okay. So I'm just going to put it in the body for now, and we'll see how we go. I mean, just to give you, I'll start with the head. Okay. Just remember, your page is read from top to bottom. So sometimes it becomes important where you have thrown it. As you get comfortable with coding, you also get lazy and you throw it wherever you want. But sometimes it matters, and I'll show you in today's one of our today's exercise. It will matter. So I put a script tag inside my head. The script tag has gone inside my head. Now there are three things in programming which we must get very quickly comfortable with. And the first thing I'll tell you before I tell you those three things is you write a comment by 2 slashes in JavaScript. This won't work in HTML, okay? This is only within the script tags. Only within the script tags, that's a comment. So the three things that are essential in programming are: you must know how to output results, how to give an output. You must know how to take an input. You must know how to do a process. That's what programs are good at. So if you, for example, had to list all of the students on this campus in alphabetical order, the obvious choice to do such a thing would be to use a computer that runs a program rather than give all of the enrollment sheets, thousands of them, a stack of it to a human and say, you know what, stack them in alphabetical order. Okay, so that's a process. We will start with simple processes. Processes can get complicated very soon. When they get complicated, we have processes inside processes. One process calls another process. Then we make one parent process which is replicated tens of thousands of times in different scenarios. And then we start getting into object-oriented programming. And you just have to take a look around you and see what programs can do. I mean, look at a CAD/CAM software. Imagine the amount of mathematics and coding that has gone in building that. Look at a game engine. Like even when you play a computer game by companies that use their own dedicated engines, you can just imagine the amount of effort that goes into building the intelligence of it. Now, obviously, it hasn't made every single combination of characters possible. Yet, each individual on the planet who plays something like Modern Warfare 3 can build their own soldier, their own armors, own weapons, choice of weapons, and you can take it to any limits you want. You can create open worlds which don't have a predefined level. So you reach a particular point and the world itself spawns in front of you using randomness. And we will look at some random numbers as well. So we will look at the very basics of programming, but try to understand, because this is most fundamental. If you understand the fundamentals, you can keep building on it. So these are the three things: output, input, and process. Within process, you have, and this one will be a multi-line document. Within process, there are three types of common ones accepted. You have a sequence of steps, do step 1, do step 2, do step 3, and so on. You're giving directions to somebody: walk for 100 meters, turn right; walk for 50 meters, turn left; and the second building on your left will be G block of South Bank campus. That's the sequence of steps. I mean, some of you might still remember Lightning McQueen car, which you could program with the arrows on top. You could press it 3 times and it would go forward, and then press it on the right. You could pre-programming it and let it go and it would turn. So a small chip inside that basically controls the wheels and the turning. So you have a sequence of steps. Then you have a selection. And the classic word for selection is if. Okay? Anybody has a smart fridge that screams if the door is left open? So you know that your fridge has a program that says when door is open, start the clock, start a timer. And when timer is greater than 60 seconds, okay? If timer greater than 60, beep, 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 beep. And actually, it's going to loop. While door is open, keep beeping. So when the door is closed, the beeping shuts down. This is embedded into your fridge. A classmate of mine who went from programming into embedded systems, and he embeds these chips into vehicles, all kinds of things, fridges, micro ovens. He recently sold his company to Panasonic for 60 million. So there is a lot of money in programming if you can be at the right place, right time, get in the right field, and you shift. So embedded systems are really, really good, but still you need to understand the logic. Your cars, if you have the lights on and the door is open, so the if can have a combination of conditions. If door is open and lights are on, beep. So most of the cars, I think in the last 7-8 years now, have that feature. If the lights are on and you open the door, it beeps just so that you don't drain your battery down. Okay? So selection, if, very important feature in programming. And then you have repetition, which is the loops. Keep doing something. So these are the three basic fundamentals. Today we are going to focus on output. So I'm just going to, now what has happened here is I have actually got Okay, today we are going to focus on output. These are my notes for me, okay? What I planned for today. So the two types of output we're going to look at. One is using an alert, using document.write, and we'll look at concatenation, and we'll look at input and output statements today. So we have a fair bit to cover. We'll do it in 2 or 3 videos. So the first part is, let's have a look at output statements. Has everyone saved this file? Just save your file. Well done. Keep saving. If I say alert and the correct syntax is, actually the correct syntax is window.alert, it's a function, it is pre-built. The browser understands this function. We have not written this function. We will write functions because you can't just use pre-built functions. Window.alert is a function. Now, if I do a quotes, so that's a string, it's going to alert whatever is inside the quotes. And if I say welcome class or fall in love with JavaScript, it will take the case as it is, uppercase, lowercase, whatever is in the string will be alerted out. There's a customer for you, Patrick.
Oh. Amen.
So
Just write your name down here.
window.alert will pop up an output. It's one of the ways of creating output. Welcome class, fall in love with JavaScript. I'm going to save this. This is an HTML file, which means I can run it in the browser. So I'm going to find my file. It's called session 1. I think it's in 2015, script 1, session 1. There, that's my first pop-up box. And you have written your first JavaScript program. So I'm going to stop this video here and we'll look at some more ways of outputs. So